have my two friends who also have YouTube channels, Rachel and Anna, coming over today because we are actually going to sit down and do a 2020 planning session. We're going to plan out content, we're going to plan out business ideas, and so I thought it'd be a really cool opportunity for me to bring you along. Of course, because all of us have our own businesses, I won't be able to put too much of what we're saying in because it's not my place to share their big goals, but I will put some B-roll over and then come back later and talk about how I planned my 2020. One thing I have realized is that if you've watched my last two vlogs, the one first of all when I was in a rut and second of all when I got out of that rut, I have realized a pattern in myself. I've realized that when I start focusing too much on money is when I find myself being really caught up in, I don't know, negative thoughts. I'm not someone who's naturally motivated by money. I'm motivated by freedom, I'm motivated by adventure, I'm motivated by what I get from my money. But money itself is not something that inherently motivates me. Yet around this time every single year is when you start thinking about your financial goals and financially where you want to take your business. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I felt so ruddy, is because I have been like really deep down in the financials of my business. So anyway, a lot of my planning today is going to be based around what I want my life to look like in 2020 and how I can build my business around that. So I'll come back and explain everything later. I had the best weekend though, oh my gosh. So first of all, I went to this really cool YouTube event. So with the girls that I'm actually having over today, we had this YouTube event. It was like almost like our Christmas party, you could say, but it was a wellness retreat. It was so much fun. Then I got my new tattoo, which I will show you later. Maybe I'll leave a picture on the screen right now. I don't know, it's peeling, so I don't want to show you in this clip. So anyway, I got my new tattoo. I love it so much. And then on Saturday, George and I went to a music festival and it was really, really, really fun because, again, a big part of what I want my 2020 to look like is I want more adventure into my life. So that's catching you up on what's happened since I last spoke to you. Now, my friend's gonna be here in like 1 second and I'm really sweaty because I just took Harvey for a walk. Harvey, this is literally what happens every single time I have anyone over. They literally have to spend like half an hour entertaining Harvey. Harvey, come on.
It's okay.
Harvey, we're trying to do planning. Oh my God, you're so annoying. Honestly, I was going to pretend that I filmed this all over one day, but then I realized in the last clip my hair looked like two little grease balls, and now I basically look like Fabio, so it's a completely different day. But I did want to jump back on and speak to you about exactly how I've done my 2020 planning, because like I said, it's really natural when you've got a business to plan financially, to say, this is what I'm going to achieve financially next year, and then reverse engineer from that. In 2020, I'm doing something a little different. I'm reverse engineering from happiness. I'm reverse engineering from what I want my life to look like. So I want to kind of take you through the planning strategy that I have used, because this takes me from living my dream life right back through to what I need to do each day. It's a reverse engineering process. So picture this. What I've actually started with is, what are the top 3 personal goals or ventures that I want to achieve next year? One is actually that I want to travel more. Secondly is that I actually want to save for a house. And thirdly, I actually want to achieve things in 3 different areas. One is Muay Thai. I finally want to learn how to play the guitar. And the other is to get better at bike riding, motorbike riding. So I'm thinking about all of these like personal goals that I have and what I want to achieve. By the way, I'm going to do a proper goal setting video in the next one, so watch out for that. But I'm thinking about all of these areas that I want to achieve that ultimately make up my dream life. You know, a lot of people say living your best life and your dream life, but identify for you next year, what does your dream life actually look like? Then from there, I thought about, well, how much is this actually going to cost me? So I think about, you know, okay, I want to travel, I want to save for a house, like a house deposit, I want to have all of these amazing hobbies, which means I'm going to need time. So I've started to think about what I want my dream life to look like, what it's going to cost me to live my dream life, because not only do I have to financially factor in travel and saving, I've got to think about how much does it cost me to run my business, and how much does it cost me to run my life? How much does rent and all of this cost? Then from that, I've started to think about what are my financial goals in my business, because I'm not just pulling out some arbitrary number like $1 million just for the sake of it. I'm literally planning out what my dream life in 2020 would look like, and then planning my business goals and how much I want to make around that. So I'm planning for my dream life. So that's the first thing I do. But then it comes down to putting it all in a calendar. I'm gonna kind of like screen share with you, because as though it's not the most aesthetically pleasing thing, I wanna show you exactly what this exercise looks like so you can do it as well. So what I wanted to do was then think about, okay, if I'm reverse engineering from happiness, that's what I wanna start with in my calendar. So if you start with a blank calendar of what you want your weeks to look like, first of all, the things that I'm gonna be putting in are making sure I've got time for myself, making sure I've got time for my hobbies, making sure I've got time for all the other things that I want to do in my life, you know, traveling and all that, but that's not kind of a weekly task, but I'm starting to think about those things first. Then from there, I'm putting in all of the daily habits and practices and routines and rituals that I need, like working out, meditating, sleeping, eating, all of those things into my calendar. And then I'm fitting my business activity around that. Rather than putting all my business activity in, because that's a never-ending process, I'm putting all of that other stuff in first and then putting my business stuff around there. Does this mean I may need to be more productive? Yes. Does this mean I may need to systemize my business more? Yes. But also what I'm doing here is not trying to achieve balance necessarily, but I'm literally planning my dream life and then my business to match that, rather than the other way around, which is what most people do, which is why so many people feel burnt out. So that is ultimately how I'm planning my 2020. Is it the most complicated process in the world? No, but I've got a call now. But no, it's not. I'm just thinking about literally what I want my dream life to look like. I also then created a vision board based off all of this. So obviously I have all those hobbies that I spoke about. I've got the travel that I spoke about. I've got how my business, I actually want to grow my YouTube channel, so that's what those two are for. Then I've got the financial goals and all of that to support all of this. This isn't just for no reason, guys. This is how much my dream life costs. So basically these are literally like the dream life that I want to have based off of my own personal happiness goals. So that is my process for planning out 2020. Start with what your dream life looks like and reverse engineer from there. It doesn't matter if you're 3, 4, 5 years into business or if you're just starting out. It is so important when trying to change your life and build a business simultaneously that you are taking care of you, because you are the product, you are the inventory, you are the stock, you are the business, and your happiness is crucial. Not just because when you're happier, you will sell more. I promise I'll talk about that another time, but honestly, just because your health is the most important thing. So that is it for the planning video. Did you think it was fun? It was long, it was short, I don't know. It was kind of a vlog, it was kind of a sit down talking video. I don't know, but I have a client call now. So as I said, I'm gonna come back in the next video in a couple of days and talk about my goal setting strategy, because I actually have this really cool goal setting strategy that I've been using and thinking about, because most people get overwhelmed by their goals, and if that's you, I've got a strategy for you. So we'll talk about that in the next video. Thanks for watching, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.